Hello, and welcome to another edition of our book review blog. I am your book reviewer, and today we're going to review the book The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. There we go. As I said before in my glass review, this book was recommended to me by my brother, and I'm glad I read it. It was a book that I really would not probably have read on my own, but just because it's very science fictiony, and kind of unfortunately, I'm not really into the science fiction genre. But again, I very much enjoyed this book, so I'm glad that he recommended it to me, and I'm glad I read it. Anyway, I will get started. The book is about a 16-year-old girl named Katniss Everdeen. She lives in a society that's very much into the future, but it's not known what year. It's kind of, she lives in North America, but it's not North America. Um, it's known as this world called Panem. Apparently, there was this explosion of North America some time ago, and according to this book, and there's North America has been divided into the capital, which is the government, obviously, and then 13 districts. And during this time, there was a rebellion for the capital, but that didn't work and that failed. So, and in the process, one of the districts, number 13, was taken and was kind of put out of existence. So, the book starts, there's only 12 districts, and Katniss belongs to the 12th district. And you do kind of know where she is as far as geographically in North America. She is in the United States. She is in kind of the Appalachian Valley. Not sure exactly what state. I'm going to kind of guess like Kentucky, because they do talk about coal a lot, but it could be Kentucky, West Virginia, Virginia, all through the Appalachian Valley. But it does start with Katniss getting to know her. She's very tomboyish. She likes to hunt. She like her food is not provided for her, and she lives very poor life with her mother and her 12-year-old sister Primrose. Her father died, and she has a friend named Gale, who is actually a male, and they go around hunting at the beginning of the book. And she does, in fact, see this other friend named Petra, who is a friend of hers and who she knows from back when she was a kid and who she went to school with. So, but the big thing about this is that because of the rebellion, all 12 districts have to compete in the Hunger Games, and it's kind of a life or death. It's life or death. Only one person is going to survive, and it's one boy and one girl compete in each district. So there's 24 people that compete at altogether. So, and at the reading or at the drawing of these, because it's drawn by lottery, the first one that's drawn is Primrose, because the ages that you can do this is from 12 to 18, and as I said, Primrose is 12, so that's her first drawing. And Katniss is very awestruck by this, and she decides to take Primrose's place. She's like, my sister cannot do this. She is very weak. I am stronger than her. I need to take her place. So that they okay that. And the male from District 12 that's chosen is Petra, who Katniss knows. So Katniss and Petra are put in this, to me it was almost kind of like a dome, kind of like a biodome, I guess, if you will. It's a really big place where they're supposed to play this game. And because there's wildlife in there, and there's trees, and there's lakes and rivers, and it's basically an environment, but you have to find the other people in this big group, and you have to kill them. And It's very violent, as you can imagine, as the time progresses. Like, I think in the first day of the killing, there's 11 people are killed. So, none are killed by Katniss. She just finds shelter and tries to get in her bearings and tries to get kind of her hunters or her inner person out of her, and just tries to decide, okay, how am I going to do this strategically? And she ends up actually, like, kind of being without, or she doesn't kill a lot of people in this book. I think she only kills maybe 3 people, and the first time she kills is actually very, very late in the book. It's maybe, it's probably in the page 200s of, like, 374 is how many pages are in this book. So I thought, I didn't know what to think of that. I guess it was good that she was more kind of cunning and not kind of going in for the straight kill. And actually, the first person she killed was trying to kill somebody who had made an ally with her. Another 12-year-old girl, whose name was Rue, from another district, I think 11. So that's kind of what the book is. It's just a lot of kids killing each other. To me, it was also described to me from the book The Long Walk by Stephen King or Richard Bachman. I agree, that's also a book about killing people, and especially, like, kids. And in another way, it's also kind of like the Stephen King book The Running Man, because that's kind of a game with your life as kind of the prize, or if you lose, you die. So I enjoyed this book. It kind of along the lines of The Long Walk, because it's told in the first person of Katniss. You kind of know the ending. You kind of know that she's going to survive, because most people who write books in the first first person, they don't die. And so they're kind of course, like, looking back. Also, now I have to describe The Long Walk, but I'll do that in another review. Also, it's kind of, because she wins, but it's kind of a bittersweet victory, because she's warned that past winners really don't have good of life afterwards. They kind of either become depressed, and her mentor through this ordeal was a survivor of the Hunger Games, and he's an alcoholic, and he just spends all day drinking. And he was actually the one that warned her, don't be like this, or try not to be like me, where I'm very depressed and I have to rely on alcohol to get me through the day. So that's the book. There is 2 books after it. It's a Hunger Games trilogy, so hopefully I'll be reading those as well down the line. So the next I'm going to read is actually an audiobook. It's called A Stolen Life by J.C. Dugard. If you remember, she's the girl who was kidnapped in, like, the really early 90s and was kept prisoner by her captors for, like, 18 years. This is her book telling the story. So I've always wanted to read this, but the library never had it. So finally they had the audiobook. So I'm like, okay, I'll listen to the audiobook. So that's it. I bid you a fond farewell and happy reading.